and welcome back. On this edition of The Fifth Estate, we are to take a more in-depth look at the progressive and prosperous nation, Denmark. Once the seat of Viking raiders and later a major North European power, Denmark has evolved into a modern, prosperous nation that draws its strength from promoting peace and encouraging creativity. As the most southerly of the Scandinavian countries, Denmark is a link between Northern Europe and the rest of Scandinavia, Sweden, Norway, Finland. Throughout the history of the tiny country, this position has enhanced the Danish people's abilities to conduct international trade and has influenced their political and military strategies. Despite gains and losses in land, Denmark has maintained a position of political and economic power in Europe. Though now relatively small in territory and population, Denmark has always played a notable role in European affairs. Much of Denmark's survival and success has hinged on viewing military defeats as opportunities to strengthen Danish society through political and economic reforms. Denmark is the oldest kingdom in the world. Modern Denmark is a society characterized by political compromise, comprehensive welfare programs, stringent environmental controls, and a strong economy. Denmark still has a monarch who serves as head of state, a largely ceremonial function, but it is now a parliamentary democracy that supports a high standard of living and provides free social service for just about everyone. It boasts a per capita income that is one of the highest in the world. The economy is based primarily on trade and manufacturing. Only about 6% of the population is engaged in traditional livelihoods such as farming and fishing. Denmark has turned internal struggles into far-reaching social reforms and survived worldwide financial turmoil and 2 world wars. It has carved a unique place for itself in the global economy, gaining recognition as a creator of beautiful, useful products. Denmark, the envy of many modern nations, is both productive and prosperous. Well-educated and state-supported, with few differences to divide them, most Danes are free to pursue their dreams, a freedom they passionately believe belongs to every man, woman, and child. Everyone is an equal in this democratic country. Furthermore, people share responsibility for each other, the environment, and the global community. Because of a livable welfare system and strong economy, Danes boast that theirs is a nation where, as their national leader, NFS Grundtvig, wrote an often quoted song, "Few have too much and fewer too little." In such a country where each person can expect a lifetime of comfort, there is little incentive to rob or cheat one's neighbor. Denmark is one of the most corruption-free societies in the world. There is little crime, and many social scientists see this as a result of there being very little poverty. Only 2% of the national budget goes to finance police, prisons, and courts. In contrast, Danes donate 1% of their gross national income to humanitarian aid to third world countries, a remarkably generous contribution. In a quiet corner of Denmark lies a plastic fantasy world of perfection, Legoland. It's a national icon that's gone global. There are now 62 Lego bricks for every person on the planet. Small, clever, and prosperous, Legoland neatly mirrors Denmark's self-image. Even here, climate change casts a shadow, but also on display are the Danes' clean, green energy solutions. Out in the real world, the Danes are now going global with another icon. Denmark has become the world leader in wind power technology. With just 5.5 million people, the Danes boast that they are one of the greenest, richest, and happiest people in the world. As Oprah once said about the Danes, this is the reason they're so happy. It's because they feel safe, they have a sense of security, they don't have to worry about healthcare, They don't have to worry if they lose their job or they will lose their home. They don't have to worry about educating their children. And they don't have to worry if they get sick that no one will be there to take care of them. Hello and welcome back to this episode of The Fifth Estate. Here I'm going to interview Sophie and Lynetta. They're currently residents in Denmark and have some words of wisdom they'd like to share with us tonight. So I'd like to begin with asking Lynetta. A lot of the surveys from social scientists, they all come to the conclusion that Denmark is the happiest country in the world. Would you agree with that?
Maybe. One of the good thing about Denmark is we don't have all that crime and stuff. So, but I don't know if we're the happiest.
Huh. So, is there anything that you really don't like about Denmark? Like, would you wish that you didn't have that you could change if you were to go into politics?
Nope.
So you're satisfied with what you're saying? You're satisfied, you're content?
Yeah.
That's great. Another thing, I understand that in Denmark, you don't have to pay for university, which is great because you get to have free schooling, thus getting a good job and a career when you're older. But on the downside of that, you have to pay a lot more in taxes. Do you think it's a fair trade?
Yeah, it's kind of the same, but it's just if you don't use the hospital as much as you pay for it, that could be not so good thing, but else it's just.
Yeah, I completely understand. I see where you're coming from. So another question would be, I hear, well, Danes are the happiest people in the world, and so, but you have a lot of small knit communities all kind of dotted through the entire region. Lots of small hometowns. Would you say you're close with your community?
Yeah.
Very close? That's good. Do you have a city hall or a town hall?
My town?
Yes.
No.
So how large is your town? How many people live there?
Oh, I think there live about 5,000.
5,000. Okay. And how far is that away from Copenhagen?
It's 2.5 driving hours.
So not that far. So 5,000 people, 2,000, 2.5.
In Denmark, that's far.
In Denmark, that's far. So and how long does it take to drive from one end of Denmark to the other end?
From Skagen to Tønder, it takes 4 hours. That's from the top to the bottom.
Huh. That's so 4 hours from the top to the bottom, which is the same as say Sudbury to Toronto, which is about 4 hours. So in comparison, I guess you could say Denmark is extremely small. And one final question that I'd like to ask you guys. I've been interested. I hear Denmark has the top of the line transportation system, subway and busing and all that. So would you agree with that? Have you ever taken a train to Copenhagen or whatnot? Can you describe your experience?
Well, I have often taken the bus to Vejle with friends or something, and that's fine.
That's good. And one extra question. Sorry about that. What would you say is Denmark's main export? What do they produce lots of? How does Denmark make their money?
I don't know.
What do you say, like farming or manufacturing?
We have many farmers.
Lots of farmers?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you very much, everyone, and thank you to our guests here, Lynetta and Sophia. And well, we'll hopefully have them on next time we have a show on Fifth Estate. So I'd like to catch you guys later, and goodbye. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you enjoyed the documentary day on Denmark, and I hope you learned a thing or two. From all of us at BBC, this is the Fifth Estate, and we are signing out. Good night.
Ha ha ha.